have, I think importantly, made a point of saying that we would like to involve the community in our planning process. And we have many community members here today who I think would like to be involved in the planning process. And I don't see that community, nor indeed, as our fellow trustees have pointed out, anybody else named as part of the planning process. And I think as a way of showing our respect for the community, we need to put that process, at least some description of it, into our resolution.
Mr. President, also included in that, and I agree with Vice President Berman, it's very important that everyone here knows that this is going to be an all-out community effort. We're going to be involving all unions from both districts. They will be heavily involved in the assistance and their knowledge on how we're going to present a plan to move forward. It's not going to be an overnight process, but we do need to continue to move on because it's our children, our students that we're here for, all of us sitting in this room tonight. And we have to keep that at the forefront. Student achievement has to be number one. And we owe it to every single child in both districts to make the best plan possible for every single one on an individual basis as well as a group.
And if I was to add, if I could say something right now, when the task force and the steering committees got together, the number one thing that we wanted was the stakeholders, which is the community, be involved. So to answer that question, there's nothing we wouldn't do without involving the stakeholders. Y'all, I mean, the community voted us here, and we understand that you want our trust in everything that we do. So there's no hidden agenda. That's one thing that I liked about this board, the board at Willow Run, the board at Ypsilanti, and the collaboration in the task force committee. There's no hidden agenda. At every meeting when we start, it's student achievement. At the end of the meeting, it's student achievement. And if it doesn't help the student achievement, then we don't even consider it. Like the plan that we laid out earlier, we take necessary steps. We gather data, and then we go down to the bottom, we have necessary steps, and then we say if it's going to improve the income and improve student achievements, then that's what we're doing. So, no, we don't have all the answers to your questions, but this is the reason why we're holding this meeting tonight, because we want to hear what the community has to say.
Vice President Berman.
Thanks, President Bates. I'd like to offer a friendly amendment to this resolution such that it reads the clause that Trustee Fanta read earlier, and only after there has been established a clear and detailed plan with broad participation and input from the community for the development and implementation, etc.
If you could just slow down on that so we can get it written down. And you're inserting it, I'm sorry, where?
And only after there has been established, last paragraph, in the middle, a clear and detailed plan, here's the insertion, with broad participation and input from the community for the development.
With broad participation and input
From the community.
from the community.
That's the end of the insertion.
That's the end of the insertion. Okay,
I would support that.
fine. Actually, the person who made the motion is the person that has to support it, and it will need to be supported by both boards and agreed to by a vote of both boards. But I think we can get through that mechanism pretty
Can I
seamlessly.
offer another friendly amendment that's a little different?
In lieu of that?
Right.
Okay, that's fine. So then before we move that, then let's hear that discussion and have some discussion on that, and then we can.
And I'd just like to pass a voice there. So I would rather say, just a little bit different. And only after the two communities and boards collaborate together to establish a clear, etc.
Say it again, please, Ms.
Clear,
Stewart.
detailed plan. I said, and only after the two communities and the two boards collaborate to establish a clear and detailed plan for the development and implementation of the unified registration system. And we have
I like that better.
Okay, would you like to withdraw your friendly amendment pending the approval
Yes,
of
I
that one?
support that one.
Okay. Friendly amendment number 1 has been withdrawn. There is a friendly amendment number 2 that the clause be inserted only after, there's been only after, is it going in, at the point where it says only after?
Yeah, only after, yep, and then we're taking off the.
Only after the 2 communities and the 2 boards collaborate to establish a clear, is that, is that needed? Okay. Only after, okay. Mr. Gary, would you like me to go ahead and take that to my board first, and then you can take it to your board, and we'll see if it resonates? All right, Trustee Horn, there's been a friendly amendment proposed that we insert after the word after in the last paragraph of the resolution, that the phrase only after the 2 communities and the 2 boards collaborate to, and then continue with the resolution, establish a clear detailed plan. Do you accept that friendly amendment?
I do accept that friendly amendment.
Trustee Devaney, do you support that?
I do support it.
Okay, it's been accepted and supported. All those in favor, now the Ypsilanti board would be the one voting at this point. All those in favor of approving that friendly amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Excuse me, any opposed, say nay. No, motion carries. I apologize for shortcutting that. All right. President Gare, would you like to see if your board would accept it?
Yes, now I have a friendly amendment to change the wording and only after the 2 communities and 2 boards collaborate and establish a clear, detailed plan for the development and implementation of a unified education system. Ms. Dorothy Stewart?
I support that.
Mr. Wiley?
Yes.
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor, Will Run Board, say aye. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
So the amendment has now been attached to the resolution. Thank you very much. Trustee Fant, I think, raised some very, very good issues, and they certainly are things that will need to be addressed. If we were to try and address every one of those prior to trying to move forward with this resolution, the resolution would be a very, very long resolution indeed. And probably, I think that's not necessary. Ultimately, it lies as the responsibility of both boards to oversee this process. And tonight, both boards are committing to being willing to oversee that process, or not, as they may see fit. But I think ultimately that is our job, and I think that it's up to us to do exactly as Trustee Stewart has said, to collaborate and work together to make sure that the process is a good process. I know that both districts have made very challenging decisions in the last few years, and I want to say right out that I have been in great admiration of the openness and the transparency that Will Run has used to conduct their processes, and I know that that's resulted in a lot of community support. I think each board will look to the other, but I know we'll certainly be very excited about working with our partners in Will Run to make sure that this process is, as that was, a good, open, transparent, and public process that includes the voices of all segments of our society, taking responsibility for making sure that our kids get the best education that can be had.
And on that note, I would ask the community, our stakeholders, the one who has the biggest voice in this community, to hold the board members and the school system accountable for the things that we do. We ask that during this time that your comment and your speaking up is very important during these trying times. Like Mr. Bates said earlier, we are trying to do what's best for the kids and the community. And so at any time during this process, if you have any comments or anything you want to bring to us, we ask that you be willing and bring them to us, and we'll be open to receive them.
Is there any further board discussion you can share? Trustee Devaney?
Thank you, President Bates. I just wanted to read a couple statements that I put together that will kind of explain to constituents why I plan to support the resolution. I said, well, there are many points of pride as well as